When there is no footage and you got two sides of the story and they're both opposite, the only thing you can do is speculate, and that's it. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Scotty, and you're watching my review on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 11, Episode 10. What's going on, you guys? You know, let's just get it poppin'. Ain't no time for no motherfucking intro. We're just gonna get right on into the shit, shall we? Let's do that. So, we're gonna open up with the Candy Coded clique, okay? Including Jamie. They were all in the house. They were talking about Todd's little birthday party that he had. It was all over Instagram. It looked like it was a great time. There was no cameras there, so we really didn't get to experience Todd's birthday party. But apparently something happened at the party which got Porsha kicked out of the party, which I remember that story coming out back in August. I remember reading when I was at work and all types of stuff. Now, Porsha came out and said that it was never true. But a couple of days after that, the Instagram page, Real Housewives of Atlanta, shout out to you guys, had basically reported that Porsha, you know, basically revealed that it wasn't true, that there was a fight, but she never denied anything about her getting kicked out. I just know that she denied it ever being a fight. But according to the Real Housewives of Atlanta page on Instagram, she had removed Candy's photo that she took. You know, she took a picture with Candy, she removed it, and she also unfollowed Candy on Instagram. So that pretty much brought up some questions. Okay, we thought that they were cool, or they were trying to, you know, build on their relationship, so what could have happened? So basically, Jamie said that Porsha came over. No, Jamie's friend came over to Dennis, gave him a kiss on the cheek or something like that. Porsha came over talking about what's up, what's going on, you know, the yelling and the screaming, and that's where all the commotion really came from. And Porsha had chest bumped her and all types of things like that. So it was kind of like, okay, you know, at this point, listening to the story, okay, at the beginning it's like, okay, well, Porsha really isn't the aggressor in this particular situation, right? Okay. But then, no, let me take that back. We listening to the story and it's like, okay, Porsha was the aggressor. Porsha is the aggressor in the situation. Just listening to it, it's like, okay, Porsha the aggressor in the situation. Okay, here she go acting a fool once again. That's the... You know, that's what anybody would get if they heard that story first. If you didn't see the incident and that's the story that you got, and given Porsha's history, she done fought Kenya. Well, she didn't fight her. She just pulled her hair and drug her across the stage. She got karate kicked by Cynthia, and she fought Jamie in a damn back alley. Then, you know, she's liable to get into a fight with somebody. You know what I mean? So, of course, when you first hear the story, you know, it's kind of like, okay, Porsha is doing what Porsha does, getting into fights and shit and fucking up the party. But then, Porsha, Dennis, Lauren, and Dennis's friend, they were all at the little hot dog joint, and they were talking about it. So, Porsha was saying that, you know, we came to Candy's party, Candy and Todd's party, we were having a very good time. But then, one of Candy's workers, Jamie, was circling around her. And, you know, they were basically, you know, she walked up to Dennis, and Dennis said that she tried to kiss him. She tried to kiss him. Now, Jamie said that she did walk up to him and kissed him on the cheek, but Dennis said she tried to, and he pushed her back like, what the fuck is going on? So when Porsha came over and saw the two talking, she said, she was like, now what's going on here? Like, you know, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I want to know who this is talking to my man. And then it clicked to me that it was Sherry, that same girl that Candy kept telling us about. So, you know, she felt like Candy should have had her back more in this situation. You know, she reached out to Candy. She told Candy soon after she was kicked out that she was wrongfully kicked out. And Candy said, I apologize for that happening, but we'll talk about it later. But Candy has never texted her, never called her, never did anything. So it's like when I hear Porsha telling the story, it's like, okay, some things that she's saying kind of agrees with Jamie's story, but still in a sense it's like she doesn't feel like she did anything. So it's kind of like, okay, there's Jamie's story, there's Porsha's story, and somewhere in the middle lies the fucking truth. And since we don't have any camera footage, we don't know what the fuck happened. So it's kind of like listening to this story, it's like, okay, Porsha really wasn't wrong, you know. These girls was just fucking with Dennis and trying to, you know, start some drama with Porsha. Now that's what we get when we hear her fucking story. But you know, Porsha was like, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't even have no reason to reach out to Candy. I'm pretty sure that she's sitting over there with her workers and they're all talking shit about me like they always do, because you know they love to talk about Porsha. Bitch, please. Okay. So Peter returns, and you know, it was good to see Peter. And you know, as many years and many times as I drug Peter for filth, I kind of miss Uncle Ben being on the show. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if he was on the show, it would have bring a little bit more spice to the game. But you know, Peter was at the party. You know, he was in and out. You know, he was basically there to see Greg. And it's pretty cool that even though Cynthia is no longer married to Peter, Nene and Greg still were able to maintain a friendship with Greg. And it pretty much shows you that a lot of these friendships on the Housewives of Atlanta were real friendships. I honestly believe that Cynthia and Nene got a real friendship. I honestly believed before all the fuckery happened that Candy had real friendships with Porsha and Phaedra. You know, it's just, I believe that Cynthia and Kenya are really friends. I believe that Candy and Cynthia are really friends. I really believe that Candy and Kenya are really friends. Like, I really believe a lot of these girls on this show are really friends. That's just my personal opinion. But, you know, Peter was just there to basically get caught up on what's going on, you know. He said he don't watch Fox News. He watch ESPN, a big piece of shade at Mike Hill, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he said that he talked to Noelle since she's been gone off to college or whatever, and that's also a good thing that, you know, Peter and Noelle still have a relationship even though he's no longer married to Cynthia. So it was good to see Peter back on the show. I mean, can he finally get his speech? That's all I want to know. So we get more into Tanya. Okay, it's Tanya. We get more into Tanya. Eva and her man come over and you know, apparently Eva's man and Tanya's man know each other because they both went to Morehouse. So it's pretty cool that they're all getting to know each other at this point. And you know, they're having a good time, and Eva just wants to right her wrongs with Nene. You know what I'm saying? Like, she feels like she kind of fucked up everything with Nene when she didn't invite her to her party. And she just wants to do something else, you know, have another bachelorette party and invite all the girls to it. And they all agree that they should go to Tokyo. That would be a great idea for them to go to Tokyo or whatnot. And, you know, she was saying that Tanya said we got a hibachi room in our house and we could just have a nice dinner. We could all make amends. And then I could just let everybody know that we're all going to Asia for the trip. You know what I'm saying? And Eva was like, well, are you going to tell them that they don't need to be wearing no designer clothes? And Tanya was like, wait, listen now, we haven't agreed on it yet. I'm just saying we're going to let them know that we're going to fucking Tokyo, okay? And you know what else is funny? Tanya got a fucking confessional. Marlo, where's yours? So Shamari and Ronnie, they go and meet up with this counselor that they've been seeing on and off for the last couple of years. You know, when Shamari and Ronnie were going through their situation, they went to an outside source with the unbiased opinion. You know, they got everything together that sort of way. You know, with couples, you always need an unbiased opinion. You know, you don't need to talk to family members. You don't need to talk to friends sometimes. You just need to go to someone, go to a counselor, go to a therapist, someone who doesn't know neither one of you guys, and they can just give their unbiased opinion, and it sometimes helps the situation out. And, you know, Shamari, you know, Ronnie was talking about how he's back on tour with BBD, and Shamari makes her opinion known that she would love to go back and be in the studio and do more music with Black. But, you know, she sees that Candy's still able to do what she's done, but she just can't imagine being away from her kids for a couple of days. And that's understandable. You know, Shamari And this ain't really no shade to her at all. I know statements like this will come off as such, but at the end of the day, Shamari hasn't been doing much over the last couple of years, so she has been sitting at home. So it's kind of like, you know, it would be a hard situation for her to just get up and pack up and leave her kids for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, you know what I mean, just because she's going off to work. So that's like a hand toss situation, you know. It's kind of like, okay, I want to get my music career back up again, but at the same time, I want to be with my kids. You can't have them both. You know, you can have your music career and you can be with your kids, but you can't be with your kids the way that you would want to with you being on the road all the time. So that's understandable. But I need for her and Ronnie to know that nobody wants to hear no Me and Mara soundtrack. Nobody wants to hear that, okay? Just keeping it 100. So after everything that went on with Candy and Todd's party, Porsha decides that she wants to invite her girls over to her house so she can tell her side of the story. And her girls just seem to be Nene, Cynthia, and Shamia. They all come over and Nene was like, listen, this fight has been the talk of the town, child. I need to know the story. Porsha pretty much tells the same story that she told Lauren. The girls circled around her. The girls were disrespecting her relationship with Dennis. They were all doing it in her face and yada yada yada, and she was wrongfully kicked out of the party. I know that everybody wants this to be a setup. I know that everybody wants this to be they're bullying Porsha again. They're picking on Porsha. I'm over this. I'm over it with the victimizing. I'm just over it. I'm 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 over it. Stop treating this girl like she's some 15-year-old girl that's getting picked on at the lunch table, because that's not what it is. We all know that Porsha has the tendency to be confrontational. And a lot of you guys were saying, I don't understand, like, why would Candy and Todd believe that she was being aggressive when she's pregnant? At the time, they didn't know that she was pregnant, so all they know is what she's done in the past. So if all they know is her trying to fight and being confrontational and getting up in people's face, then they're automatically going to believe that, because that's the pattern that she's shown. They don't know that she's fucking pregnant. Take that into fucking account. But of course, when it comes down to Porsha, you can't say shit, and I'm pretty sure I'm finna get attacked. Oh, you're spending so much time talking about Porsha. Trust me, I purposely didn't talk about her on the last damn video, but I have no choice but to talk about her tonight, unfortunately. But anyway, she was like, you know, Candy hasn't reached out to her, you know, they haven't spoken, she just doesn't know what's going on. She feels like the problem with Candy is her team. All they do is sit around and gossip about people, then they attack people, and they do this and they do that. Now, I will give her that much. Candy and her team do a lot. Carmen does a lot. Don Juan does a lot. They do get involved in things that have nothing to do with them. But you also have to take this into account too. They're not just her workers. They're not just her workers now. Don Juan and Carmen have been lifelong friends of Candy. So all they're really doing is taking up for their friend. You remember taking up for your friend? Remember how you used to take up for Phaedra all the fucking time, and then you got yourself in a beef with this same woman that you mad at because she didn't call and check on you after this alleged fight happened. You know, taking up for your friend the same way you did Phaedra. That's what they're doing for Candy. They're taking up for their friend, basically. But at the same time, they do way too much, and I feel like Candy need to let them know, I'm a grown-ass woman. I can handle my own shit. I don't need you to be stepping up for me every time. Like, y'all work for me, y'all my friends, but I did not pay y'all to be my security guards. Pipe the fuck down. That's what she needs to tell them. Point blank. So it's time for Tanya and Eva's hibachi party. And, you know, Cynthia, you know, Candy comes in, you know, Cynthia's there. Everybody's there but Porsha at this point, and Nene. And Cynthia pretty much calls Candy out, because she did tell Porsha that she would call Candy out the next time she saw her. Cynthia said that she felt like Candy was wrong for not reaching out to Porsha after the party. Here's my take on it too. Why do I need to reach out to you? It's like people not trying to see it from both ends, and they never do when it comes down to Porsha. And see, my thing about it is I am seeing it on both ends. My thing about Porsha is she feels like she wasn't the aggressor. She was wrongfully kicked out, so she feels like Candy should address that. But in Candy's mind, she did not see what happened. But all she was told was Porsha was the aggressor. And at this point, all Candy wants to do is make sure that her husband is having a good time at his birthday party. So some petty ass bullshit with Porsha, some ex-girlfriend, really is not her concern right now. And it wouldn't be no concern of mine. I'm sorry. But if I was told that you was disrupting my motherfucking party and you want me to reach out to you, it's not gonna happen, bitch. You gonna have to reach out to me. You know? And they're both, it's just two different sides because Candy didn't see it. Porsha was there. Candy got a story. Porsha got a story. It's two different stories. Candy not believe in Porsha's side of the story because at the end of the day, like I said, not only are they not friends, but Porsha has had the tendency to lie. And not to mention, Porsha has had the tendency of trying to get violent with somebody. That's just what it is. You know, when she get a little bit of Hennessy in her system, that's what she wants to, you know, that's when she want to get crunk. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know, I've seen it from both ends. But, you know, Candy said from what I heard, Porsha walked up on a girl, you know, she said, what's up, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Kind of the same thing that Porsha said happened, right? So she said she don't feel like nothing happened. When Cynthia tried to get Nene to talk about it, Nene did not want no parts of that conversation. So Porsha walked into the room. And when she walked in, she spoke to everybody but Candy, and you know the internet was just going up for that shit. Oh my God, Porsha ignored Candy. That's gonna ruin Candy's day. That Porsha, Miss Pregnant ass Porsha, ignored little Miss Candy. Girl, please, y'all would drink, y'all would just drink anything when it come down to Porsha. Okay, so she ignored her. That's what I would have did. But I'm not giving myself no brownie points. I would ignore her ass too if I felt some type of way. That's normally what I do to people. I ignore people that I don't really fuck with. I ignore people I don't want to have nothing to do with. Point blank. Somebody that I was just friends with had blocked me on social media for no reason. And then she unblocked me. But she still follows me on Instagram, but I unfollowed her on Instagram and I unfollowed her on Snap. But I look at my Snaps and I see that she DM'd me. I read it and closed it up. I ain't got nothing to say to you, bitch. So what Porsha did was something I would have done, so she don't get no brownie points for me for that. So Candy basically tells Porsha that, you know, we were sitting up here talking about it and I just want to know, what did I do to you? And Porsha was like, are you asking me if you did something to me? And Candy said, yeah, I'm asking because I don't feel like I did nothing to you. So Porsha told her side of the story again. And she felt her main thing was that Candy should have reached out to her. And Candy said, if you're the aggressor at the party, then why should I be reaching out to you? Why haven't you called me? Porsha said, because I don't feel like I was the aggressor. So that's when it escalates and starts to escalate. And, you know, Candy was like, you chased after the girl. Like, it's not my fault that you did that. Now, Candy, at the end of the day, you did not see that. So stop talking about it like you know what's going on, because you don't. All you're doing is receiving secondhand information and you're taking it and you're running with it. The same thing Pecan Brain did with Phaedra. You're doing the same thing. But what I can't stand, and I just got to address the fans, because I hate it when people can't see what everybody else, what I see sometimes. And that may be the Aquarius in me, but I just can't deal. I hate it when the fans be talking and they get mad at one person for doing one thing, but they let the other one get away with it. They thought it was cute when Porsha was coming at Candy at that dinner table with all that damn secondhand information that all turned out to be lies. They thought it was cute. They made excuses for Porsha doing that. But when Candy turned around and used secondhand information against Porsha, although it's just as fucked up as what Porsha did, everybody want to be in the uproar. You know what I mean? If you're going to reprimand one, reprimand the other. Y'all did not reprimand Porsha for shit. Y'all agreed with her. And to this day, y'all still agreeing with her. And y'all don't see nothing that she did wrong. So, this is why I just can't take my foot off Porsha neck. And my foot gonna stay on her neck. Just simply because I don't like her. Number two, her fans annoy the fuck out of me sometimes. And that's just what it is. Like, they let her get away with everything. It was okay for her to take secondhand information from Phaedra and throw that shit in Candy's face. And it was all lies, turned out. But y'all want to be mad when Candy does the same thing to Porsha. Now, my thing about it is, I'm not saying that it's okay because it's not. Because Candy looking pressed as fuck by using some secondhand information for some shit that she didn't fucking see. The mature route would have been, if you didn't see it and you're hearing this girl's story, the only thing you could do is just take accountability for not really receiving her information. Like, I know why you didn't reach out to her, because at the time you only heard one side of the story. But when you heard Porsha's side of the story, I know you don't fuck with Porsha like that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, there's two different stories going along. Let me just apologize to this girl and just take accountability. Just you know, not really accountability because I didn't do shit, but just basically on behalf of my staff, I apologize to you. That never should have happened. I don't know what happened. I didn't see what happened. I just know what I was told. And you could have left it at that. But instead, you were so willing to run with something that may have sounded like it could have been the case. Porsha, like I said, got a violent background. She, you know, that's just what it is. She done fought with 3 bitches on the show already. So I get why you would be quick to believe it at first, you know, when you first heard it. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? The girl just told you her side of the story, so all you know is that it's 2 different stories. Porsha's side, Jamie's side, and then in the middle is somewhere in the middle is the truth. So we don't really know what the motherfucking truth is right now. We really don't know what the truth is, because I don't really believe all of what Porsha said, and I don't really believe all of what Jamie said. So I'm not gonna say Porsha did that shit because I didn't see it, and I'm not gonna say that Porsha didn't do it because I didn't see it on camera. I'm just not gonna do that. I just feel like they both have points, but they're both wrong at the same time. You know, Candy wrong for just believing secondhand information and not trying to take what Porsha said into account. Porsha is wrong, in my opinion, for trying to insinuate that Candy had anything to do with them pushing her out of the party when she didn't even see the shit. And on top of that, trying to insinuate that it was her who put the rumors out to the press. What press? You talking about them damn urban blogs? Okay, the Shade Room, Media Takeout, you know, Baller Alert, you know, that ain't the damn press, but do, you know. And, you know, that's pretty much it for this episode. You know, this episode wasn't really that good until that part. But, what do you guys think? Leave it below. And, I'll see y'all for Married to Medicine. I'll holla.